Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be ranking Roblox FNAF Fangames by their difficulty on a tier list. And I'm only counting the main nights. I'm not counting the custom nights, because custom nights you can set the difficulty. That's kind of counterintuitive to this video. So I'm just counting the main nights. Like say if a game has 7 nights, I'm counting all 7 of them. But anyways, let's get right into it. Starting off with Nightmare in the Sewer. I don't know why I keep almost calling this Forgotten Memories. This game is not Forgotten Memories. This game, I actually haven't completely beaten the game. I haven't beaten all 5 nights, so it's not going to be a super accurate way of saying it. I've only beaten 4 nights, and I did really struggle with this game. But it was the first FNAF fan game on Roblox I ever played. Other than maybe Bread. I think Bread 2, I might have played that one before this one. I'm not really 100% sure what I'd rank this. I'm probably going to put it in the hard category because I really struggled with it, but it was a long time ago. I've gotten better at these games since then, and it's not a really accurate representation unless it's for a completely new player. Next, we have Five Nights at Roblox 1. Now, Five Nights at Roblox 1, it actually is not really that bad unless you're counting the custom night, but it's not the most difficult game in the world, but it's also not the most easy game in the world. It's also been a long time since I played it again. I think it's only fair that I put it in the medium category, because it's not the worst thing ever until you get to the 620 mode, which I put quite a lot of effort into beating it. Also, if I sound a little bit sick, that's because I am. Not very sick, though. Next, we have Five Nights at Your Friends. This game doesn't really count. This game is basically a custom night. Doesn't count. Anyways, next we have Five Nights at Weird Complex. Five Nights at Weird Complex is literally just Five Nights at Freddy's 2, but with different characters. And it really isn't that hard, to be honest. I didn't really have much trouble with it, so I'm gonna put it in easy. Then, of course, we have Five Nights at Weird Complex 2. Five Nights at Weird Complex is literally just a bunch of doors. And actually, this game can get really hard when you mess with the custom settings, but obviously we're not counting the custom settings. But this game in general isn't that easy. Like, it's easy to screw stuff up. They can move pretty fast during the later nights, and it's easy to forget about some people because there's a lot of them. So we'll put Five Nights at a Weird Complex 2 years later in hard. Next we have Roblox All Insanity: The Asylum. Now I actually don't think I haven't beaten the entire game. I think I beat at least night 1, 2, and 3. I'm not 100% sure if I beat night 4. But this game is actually pretty difficult. But once you figure it out, it's not insanely difficult. But I haven't played the 5th night. Or, I think I have played the 4th night. So I'll just put this one in hard, since I haven't completely played the entire game. Here we have Five Nights at Sweet Cafe. Five Nights at Sweet Cafe is very similar to the first Five Nights at Freddy's, in that there's 2 doors, but there is a vent in the middle, as you can see. And the strat for this is you basically just have to do this. If you take the proper care that is needed, then this game actually isn't that hard. I think there was one night that it was like almost impossible to beat power-wise, so I'm not sure how I would take that. They may have fixed it by now, but when I played it, it was pretty much impossible to beat. So I would put it in easy, but because of that power thing, I'll put it in medium. Next, we have Five Nights at Sweet Cafe 2. Five Nights at Sweet Cafe 2, again, has 2 doors right and left. It has a vent, but it also has a window in front of you. I'm not sure if it was just my old computer, the one I used to play on, or if it was the fact that my internet sucks. But sometimes it would take them really long periods of time to leave, and sometimes they would just stand there for a while even though you were doing the proper thing to get rid of them, which was flashing the light on them. But overall, this game's really not that hard. I'll again put this in medium. Next we have Five Nights at Jawfoot's. Five Nights at Jawfoot's isn't insanely difficult, but the main reason why I struggled with this game is that they'd come to the top vent and the bottom vent at the same time, and you can only close one at a time. And then Jawfoot, when he came to the top vent, if I'd close it on him, he would literally stay there forever. And then if I didn't close it on him, he would attack nearly immediately. And then if I closed the bottom vent, he would immediately kill me. If I closed the top one, he would just wait and wait and wait and wait until the guy in the bottom vent killed me. But other than that, it's a pretty good game. I would put it in medium, but because of that mechanic where the top and the bottom things, I'll just put it in hard mode. I'm probably just getting unlucky or something like that. Maybe it's not actually that hard. Next, we have Five Nights at Melee. Five Nights at Melee, basically you just have a ton of things to deal with. If you take care and remember all of them, you can actually beat it. And I know this game has like 8 nights, I think, or something like some junk like that. And it's actually pretty hard on those nights. When you get to those nights, I never actually got that far, but I did watch someone else play a night like that, and they spent way too much time playing it. It does have a lot of similar mechanics to the actual FNAF games, but I'm going to put it in very hard just because of like the thing. There's like 8 nights, unless that's like a custom night. I don't know, it's been like a year and a half since I saw that. Next we have Prick's Fright Hour Remade. Prick's Fright Hour Remade. Oh, there's me, my old self, selling out. What in the world? Telling subscribe. I'm double telling people to subscribe in 2 videos with 1 edit. What in the world? Prick's Fright Hour is not actually all that insanely hard. If you keep up with everybody, it's actually pretty easy. It does have weird controls, as you have to move your mouse over the hitbox, and it's kind of a weird hitbox. So I'll put Prick's Fright Hour in medium. How am I getting ads on my own videos? I'm not monetized yet, that is. Next we have Five Nights at Sonic's. Five Nights at Sonic's in Roblox is pretty much a remake, I think, I don't know if it's the same, but I know Five Nights at Sonic's is a... Well, how am I clicking exactly at this again? Anyways, it's kind of a remake of the actual Five Nights at Sonic's, I think. I'm pretty sure I've watched a video of the actual Five Nights at Sonic's 1, and this is definitely not it, I don't think. I don't know. You may have to tell me in the comments. But overall, if you take pretty good care of where everybody's at and such, it's not the worst thing ever. I will put Five Nights at Sonic's in medium. Next, we have Submarine Simulator. Submarine Simulator doesn't have many mechanics. You just have to take care of the ones that are there. And they're basically one enemy, but he can do several different things at multiple times. And it's a very unique game. I like it. But to be honest, once you've learned the mechanics, it's really not that hard. I'm gonna put Submarine Simulator in easy. There is 7 nights though, so don't be completely fooled. It's not just a walk in the park. Next, we have Five Nights Overtime. Five Nights Overtime was really easy to me until on the 5th night you couldn't see if someone was at your door until you turned on the light, which takes power. On the first 4 nights, I didn't have to worry about that. And then, I don't know if they updated it or something, but yeah. See, in the earlier nights, you could see him without turning on the light. That also could have been from my bad graphics card on my old computer, but it changed between nights 4 and 5. So I'll put Five Nights Overtime. I'll put it in hard because of the 5th night. Next is Five Nights at Hamburger Helper & Co. Five Nights at Hamburger Helper & Co. definitely has, like, it has an impossible difficulty if you set all of them to it on the custom night. But during the actual nights, if you just gotta pay attention to everything, as long as you pay attention to everything and you don't mess up your hotkeys, then you should be fine. Now, I don't know if I should put it in hard or medium. I'll put it in medium for like the main nights. And keep in mind, this list is made with some games I didn't have much experience during these games when playing, and then some of them I have a lot, and now I have a lot of experience with these kinds of games. Not an insane amount, but I've played a lot of them. Next, we have Five Nights at Roblox 2. This game brings back nostalgia. But this game, it gets really hard when you get to the custom night. But during the actual 5 nights, it's not anything super insane. I think I spent 2 hours beating 620 or 720 mode. But yeah, you really gotta listen in this game for the sound cues, that's for sure. I will put Five Nights at Roblox 2 in hard. Now we have Five Nights at Stinky's 1. Five Nights at Stinky's 1, you've really got to figure out the mechanics. Like the hall guest, you can see is I'm at 1 AM and I'm low on power because I screwed that up back when I played it. You've got to wait till he's like really high up. And I actually beat the later nights, like night 7. I beat second, I don't know, it was like third or fourth attempt. It was like second attempt when I came back to it, but I had done like a couple attempts in the meantime. So it's not super duper hard, but it's not super easy either. You don't be fooled by it. I'll put Five Nights at Stinky's 1 in the medium category. Next we have Shifts at Big Q's. Shifts at Big Q's actually during the normal nights isn't the hardest thing ever, but it's definitely not super easy either. You gotta remember everything. You gotta listen really sharply because one of the characters makes a very faint sound cue. But once you get to the custom night, I think it's like nearly impossible with what's his name? Frail Q. Because there's a ton of code at the same time in the beginning of the custom night, but during the actual nights, it's not easy, but it's not hard. I'll put shifts at big Q's in the hard category. Next, we have Those Nights with Anthony. Those Nights with Anthony has actually got a ton of characters that you definitely have to worry about all of them, and I still haven't figured out one of them, but I haven't really tried for a long time. I could probably figure it out if I played it again and tried for a little while. But there's a lot of characters, and I've been informed that later on in the game there's actually a lot more characters. There's a ton of characters. I still love the animations in this game. Those Nights with Anthony will go in the very hard section. Next we have Five Nights at Stinky's 2. Five Nights at Stinky's 2 is a very unique game as there is only 3 animatronics. And people have told me in the comments that this game they actually struggled a lot with, and I actually first tried Night 7. I wasn't expecting to, but I did. And it's hard to rank it. Should I put it in hard? Or should I put it in very hard? I'll put it in hard, because I don't think it's harder than either of these. Then, of course, we have Forgotten Memories. Forgotten Memories is not actually, it's really hard until you figure out a strategy, which me, Jdogplayz, and Leviplayz figured out a strategy, and actually it was insane. We beat the Nightmare Night 3, Night 4, and the Nightmare Night 3, Normal Night 4, Night 5, and 620 mode first try with our strategy. Let me know in the comments if you actually want to see me breaking down the strategy in a video. But anyways, if you don't know what you're doing, very hard is where it would probably go. But once you figure out a strategy, it'd probably be easy or medium, so I'm gonna put it in hard. I got confused on why it said this was corrupted, and then I realized that this is the recording that I'm recording right now. Next, we have Five Nights at Stinky's multiplayer. Five Nights at Stinky's multiplayer is very hard once you have a bunch of people in the game. Obviously, it's a multiplayer game, so it depends on the opponent's strategies and how many of them are in the game, because there can be like a lot of players in the game and make it really hard. But you gotta stay on top of things, that's for sure. I will rank Five Nights at Stinky's multiplayer as very hard. Next is Five Nights at Marcus 2. Five Nights at Marcus 2 is pretty hard, but not insanely hard, and it has a endless mode, and I actually haven't played that. Or I have played it once off camera. I did record it, but I didn't really do very good. And I don't worry, I'll play this eventually. But during the actual Five Nights, this game is difficult, mainly from the vent guy. You just gotta pay attention to him. But once you figure all that out and you figure out how to play the game, it's not the worst thing ever. I will put Five Nights at Marcus 2 in the hard category. Next, we have Some Nights at the Arcade. Some Nights at the Arcade is very similar to the original Five Nights at Freddy's, as there's a left door and a right door, and pretty much everybody, you get rid of everybody from the left and right doors, except for the charge guy. You gotta keep that guy charged, but that's not very hard at all. And I don't think I've actually played the 5th night. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think so. And I'm not gonna count the minigames, because the minigames are something different, but the minigames are pretty hard sometimes. I'll put Some Nights in the arcade in the medium area. The main nights are actually not that hard. Five Nights at RPD's Basement is up next. Five Nights at RPD's Basement is not very hard. You just gotta turn on the lights and close the doors, similar to Some Nights at the Arcade, and it's really not that difficult. Just watch the doors and you'll be fine, until you get to the special night, whatever it's called, True Nightmare. Then you have to worry about the glass in front. But overall, Five Nights at RPD's Basement's pretty easy, but I wouldn't say it would be easy for a beginner. I'll put it in medium, whatever. Five Nights at Stinky's 3 is next. Five Nights at Stinky's 3 is actually pretty difficult. You gotta watch out on what you're doing, that's for sure. Also, if you're wondering, this looks pretty different to the way it is now, because this is an old video. This is when the game didn't even have 5 nights yet. This was like right as Night 3 came out, I think, or Night 4. But in the later nights, this game can get really, really difficult, I'm not gonna lie. You've definitely got to keep on top of everything. You gotta keep do the strats for the keeping whoever's in the office who needs it most in what order. The manager is usually who I keep in the office. Overall, I'd say compared to the rest of them, Five Nights at Stinky's 3 is probably in the very hard category. Next, we have Five Nights at RPD's Basement 2. With Five Nights at RPD's Basement 2, everybody was like, oh, this game is so hard in the comments. Like, I even did a poll on YouTube, and almost everybody said that Five Nights at RPD's Basement 2 was the hardest game. But once I figured out everybody's mechanics, I think I only died twice, and that was on the 6th night. So it's not anything insane, but everybody else said it was super hard. I'll put it in very hard because everybody said that it's very hard. Next we have Five Nights at Tony's. Five Nights at Tony's is similar to Five Nights at RPD's Basement, as in the fact that you just have to close all the doors. What an edit to skip to. In the later nights, they get really fast. I think this is of like night 1. Yeah, this is the night 1 video. I'll go to the video in which I beat nights 4, 5, 6, and 7. For me, this game actually wasn't that hard, to be honest. But it's kind of similar with, like, you gotta pay attention to everything. Once you've got it figured out and everything, it's not that hard. But similar to... since it's similar to Five Nights at RPD's Basement 2, and everybody said that Five Nights at RPD's Basement 2 was really hard, and, like, in Five Nights at Tony's, they leave, like, almost as soon, in the later nights, they leave almost as soon as you close the door, right as they get there. So I'll put Five Nights at Tony's in hard. Next, we have Few Nights at Winky's 2. Few Nights at Winky's 2 is actually pretty difficult, but I think the reason why I died a lot of times is because I was glitching out the game, as I would turn on the light and then turn the screen without turning the light off, and sometimes that would glitch into thinking that the light was still on, I think, because some of the times the runs, I'd run out of power so much faster than in other runs. I have not played the entire game. I've only played half of the nights, because Winky, the creator of the game, said that there is 8 nights, and the 4 nights aren't insanely difficult, but they aren't insanely easy either. I'll put Few Nights at Winky's 2 in very hard, just because they're not that easy right now, and there's 8 nights, and there's only 1 left, which is Five Nights at Marcus 1, when they remade it. Five Nights at Marcus 1, it has it has normal mode and hard mode. I'll count those, both of them. When you get to in the normal night, this game's actually pretty easy. The more tasks you finish, the more that will be more animatronics will be active, and there's only 4 in total, and 2 of them have the same mechanics. Or 1 has the same mechanic as another one, and then the other 2 left both have the same mechanic as well. You just gotta zap the room and zap the vent. Those are the only 2 mechanics. But once you get into the later night, the harder night, the hard mode, it takes a very long time to beat the game, and it gives you more chances to die. I played it pretty cautious, I'm pretty sure, but my run was like 22 minutes long for just the 1 run, so definitely plenty of opportunities to die. I also died a few times before in other runs, so I will put Five Nights at Marcus 1 in the hard category. And that was it for this tier list. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.